Hi YouTube. Getting ready for another podcast episode. And just calling in my higher self, the Holy Spirit, family of light, all beings of the light, nothing but the light, to be here with us now. For our highest good and the highest good of all, I trust that I say exactly what it is that the universe is wanting me to say, and that it is perfectly, gracefully, effortlessly received for our highest good and the highest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Okay, I'm gonna share a little bit of a more personal, intimate story, just like about what it is that I'm currently going through. If I sound a little funky, it's because I'm a little bit under the weather. I haven't gotten sick in, I don't know, since before COVID. Like, I never got sick, and I've never had COVID. But my allergies seem to be pretty intense, and I just have a bit of a headache, and so I've been resting and tuning in on that and taking care of myself, and I've been a little bit frustrated with the universe. Not going to lie, it's been quite a week. But let's get on with this episode. Okay. Hello and welcome back to the Free to Be podcast. I'm your host, Annalene, and thank you so much for being here with me today. So something that's been coming up quite a bit for me, and what I've been noticing in the field, is this discussion around love and how as humans we all naturally desire love. We're social beings, social creatures. We want to feel love. We want to be able to give and receive love. It's very natural to desire connection, to desire belonging, because we need one another. And we come from this one source. This one source that I like to call God or the universe. There's so many different terminologies for it, but we come from the same one. And then we are birthed here on the earth plane as divine, beautiful expressions of that one source. We are fragments of that one source, and together, collectively, we make up that whole. That's why people say we are one. I am you and you are me. We are mirrors. As above, so below. As within, so without. If you look at Christianity, and you look at the Son of God, Jesus, the man, he was in human form, but he knew he was fully God, and he looked at everybody else as fully God, as equals, as brothers and sisters, knowing we all come from the same one. He called it the Father. You can call it whatever you want to. It is both the Father and the Mother and everything encompassed into one. This one source, I like to call it love. So that's why so many of us can have telepathy or notice synchronicities. And it's because we are all so connected, and this world and how everything works is so intricately, beautifully connected. There are no accidents. That's what I've always loved to say. There are no accidents. Everything happens divinely from a higher perspective as you zoom out and you look at the fact that time is not actually linear and doesn't actually really exist. In a way, everything is happening all at once. And so when your higher self, or your soul self, or the part of you connected to the one, which is, you are now connected to the one in your human form, But when you think about your higher self, who isn't affected by this dense 3D human realm, this earth plane, who has more access to all of the infinite knowledge and intelligence and power, your higher self can divinely orchestrate things to happen coincidentally for you. And you are not separate from your higher self. Your mind, your body, and your spirit all merged together as one is what literally is creating and manifesting your entire reality. Your thoughts create your reality. God, the one, thought something and it was made. He thought something and it was made. Have you ever thought of something and it became? Have you ever dreamed of something or and it happened? Or maybe you had a fear and then that actually happened. It's wherever your focus goes, energy flows, and you can quite literally manifest that for yourself, because we are master creators, because we're not separate from God. We are all children of God. We are all gods walking this earth. I really look at everybody as a god and goddess, and it's getting easier and easier to do the more and more that I have anchored into this knowing. And I didn't always do that, especially with my background being in Catholicism. I knew that everybody had the Holy Spirit within them, but I was also confused by all of the rules and commandments and what was a sin and what wasn't a sin. And really, sin is just missing the mark. Or in other religions, it can be known as not being impeccable with your word or your thoughts. There's something that's off. Not being in integrity. Missing the mark, thinking something and then not following through with it. As you tune into your thoughts more and you have more control over your thoughts and you honor your thoughts for the power that they actually have, then you can see why it is actually so important to be in integrity with your thoughts, because they are made manifest. So when you have that inner knowing and love for yourself and everybody else, because we are all one, and when you look at another, you're looking at yourself, and when you actually know that, you can't harm somebody else who you are in relationship with that you see as yourself without also harming yourself. You can't harm them without harming yourself. So when there's that actual love that's fully there and present, that creates peace, that creates compassion. Because I look at other people as gods and goddesses, it's easier for me to not get attached and allow them their own sovereign free will to do what it is that they want to do. It also allows me to have more love and compassion, because I don't see them as separate as myself. Because I see where I make mistakes, or I don't understand things, or am blind to things, or I mess up, quote unquote mess up. And it's easier to have love and compassion because I know how difficult this human experience can be. We are limited in ways because we haven't developed the technology within our bodies yet to fully access all that we have possible to us within our DNA. We're still learning, we're still growing, we're still evolving. So love has been this central theme this week, specifically connecting to the heart and how important it is to keep your heart open. Because when your heart is open and your mind is open, then it allows love to freely move and come in and be expressed. And that's what love always wants to do. That's what God always wants to do. It's just spreading all that love all over everywhere. As soon as we come up with a label or as soon as we come up with a restriction or a judgment or a rule, or we put protection walls up, it creates a barrier and love can no longer enter it. That's why I don't really like to label myself as anything. I just want to be, because when I label something, it feels restrictive. And I know as humans, we like to do that so it makes sense to us in our human mind, but our souls already know. Our soul already knows. Like, we don't need those restrictions or those labels, because it just creates more resistance and difficulty for love to express itself fully like it desires to. So if you have a closed heart and your walls are up, then love cannot come into you, no matter how much it tries. You have to be the one to take those walls down. So that makes me think of the Bible verse, like when you build your house on the sand and it's not a strong foundation, it'll come tumbling down to the ground. But when you build it on strong, firm rock, a strong foundation, it'll withstand the test of time. When you build your foundation on love, with an open heart, it'll withstand the test of time. Love can always enter you. You are always safe. You are not susceptible to the illusion of fear. Fear is the wall which blocks love from entering, and you have the free will and sovereign authority and power to choose to keep them up or tear them down. Now this takes work, because we can be blind to this. I was blind to this for so long, and there's still a lot of parts and aspects of me that I'm still blind to, and I'm still, trying to find a way to truly and authentically love them. So I honor you as you're going on this journey, and I'm so grateful that you are here on this journey and doing what you can to experience more love for yourself and more joy and peace and pleasure, because that is your birthright. And I really believe we are here to experience more of ourselves, to learn more about ourselves, to create the heaven on earth that we desire to create. And some of us just don't want to, and that's your free will and choice. But they're not separate from you, from me. So the more internal work and healing we do, the more love and compassion and light that we spread on ourselves, the more that creates a ripple effect and really does create more heaven on earth. The more love you have for yourself and the less judgment you have, the more love you'll experience in the world and the less judgment you'll experience in the world. So I hope that makes sense. It's like a quick yet powerful and deep drop of things that I've accumulated over time as I have learned and studied myself and spirituality and different religions, and have just communed with all of myself. God, love, life is so beautiful, and it's always wanting to give to you, and it wants to be received by you, and it's up to us to allow that. It's already within us, and it's just all it takes is us opening, us allowing. An open mind creates possibility for miracles to happen, because a miracle can be a shift in perspective. If you receive a shift in perspective, you literally just open so many doors for yourself. When you have a closed mind or a closed heart and somebody comes in, a reflection of God, an expression of God, comes into your life and speaks to you, and you're closed off to it, then you're literally stopping love from entering. Your own judgment is stopping love from entering. But if you have an open mind and an open heart, and you can look with the eyes of compassion and love, even if you don't agree with them, but you remain open, you're expanding yourself and you're expanding the world. You're expanding the capacity for love to stretch itself and to deepen. And that is so beautiful. And just because you have an open heart and an open mind doesn't mean things are going to be all rainbows and butterflies. I know that it's difficult, and I see you and I feel you, because being a sensitive being, it can be extremely difficult, and allowing yourself to feel the full spectrum of human emotions is intense. It is intense, but the deeper we go into our pain, the higher we can go into our love. None of it is separate. Even in the pain, we can feel love. You can feel pleasure in the pain. And it's when you have that deeper understanding and gratitude for this life, for your human experience, and for what it is that you are creating here on earth, but also being gifted just through being and breathing and having breath, having a heart, having this body on this 3D realm where there are things that we can touch, we can do, and we can make. Whereas when you are just purely energy, you can't kiss somebody. You know, you can't dance with a body. There's something so special and unique about that. So even those little things that we take advantage of every day, stretching, giving someone a hug, eating food, all of it gets to become a sacred, beautiful experience. All of it is so beautiful and profound, and it's really up to you and your perspective and how you choose to open your eyes, open your heart, and look at things. Slowing down is a beautiful way to become more intentional and to become more in tune with yourself and your heart. Because when you, again, tune into the fact that time is an illusion, then you're not always constantly worrying or rushing or stressing out and having to get things done, and you are able to slow down. A lot of the most successful people in the world value value their time over money. And that's because they know here on earth we have a limited amount of time. So I would rather pay somebody more money to save me time so that I could do something else with my time. That has way more to do with the human experience than the soul spiritual experience. So I don't know if that made sense with my correlation to the point that I was making before. Because you can work with time and manipulate time when you're not constantly analyzing time and judging time like humans do. It's like when you're in your bliss and you just lose track of time. It's incredible how powerful we all are. I love you. Remember to tune in to your heart, to your love. The more open you are, the more music you will hear. That's so funny. I didn't even know I was going to say that. The more love that you can experience, the more joy, the more bliss. And I know it can be hard to remain open in a world that's so scary, and you can only really be fully open when you feel safe. When you don't feel safe, you close. It's a natural thing. You don't have to be mad at yourself for that, but tune into that root chakra, baby. Tune into that root chakra, your foundations, your love, your safety. Remind yourself of the soul that you are and your innate divinity and abundance and authority, and you can let go of the illusion of scarcity, of fear, of lack. It just takes a moment of presence and really tuning in with yourself. Love is always here. Everything that's happening around you is for you. It's for you and your highest good and the highest good of all. It's for you to remember more of yourself. It's for you to awaken. It's for you to love deeper. It's for you to experience deeper. God loves to cry. I have come to realize this. Love loves to weep. Love loves to feel all of it. because it's all a gift. The entire human experience, the spectrum of emotions, it's insane. Your emotions are incredibly powerful. It's the unique gift of being a human, is being able to experience emotions physically in the body and work with them and release them and move with them. It's inspiring, it's art, it is creative energy. Love loves to cry. Think of it like this: Jesus literally was weeping on the cross, was walking and weeping, and he still had so much love in his heart. It didn't take away from the love, but he allowed himself to experience the full spectrum of human emotions. Yes, I know he was going through a bunch of pain. The point that I'm making here is the depths of our emotions and the power and beauty that they hold. Love loves to cry. Love loves to see you feel, because it means that you're living. It means that you are alive and here on earth, and you're actually doing something. You're actually moving through something. Love loves a mess, because it means life was made. Life was there. Love was made. Things happened. Love doesn't criticize or judge it as good or bad. Even anger or pain or crying or happiness or joy, it doesn't label any of it, because that's just restrictive. Love loves it all and has compassion and a place for it all and allows it all to be at the table. And there's no hierarchy. So as you can begin to do this with yourself and your own emotions, knowing that they're actually all there to protect you and serve you, and you can look at them and know that they're all on the same team and just doing it in different ways. You can come out from an unbiased perspective, from a godly perspective, who is not attached and isn't judging or criticizing and is just aware and notices and observes. And then moves from that space with compassionate, unconditional love. And it's not affected by the different parts or the emotions. It does what it knows from a soul level. Its sovereignty, its divinity, its inherent abundance. Not having fear, it can spot out the illusion, it can spot out fear effortlessly. All it takes is you allowing yourself to practice this tool, this muscle, and by tuning in with yourself and observing and honoring all of your feelings and allowing them to have a space and to move through you. Allow, allow, allow. Allow it. And the more you allow, the more of a gift you'll see that it all is, and how it is all for you, and all so beautiful, and all so sacred, and all so godly and holy, just like you already are. Already are. Don't stay in the prison walls of your own doing, out of fear, out of shame. And I know it's so tempting and it's so easy to, and we don't mean to get there, but you're not stuck there ever. There's always a way out, and love always finds you. It's always trying to come in. It's just up to us to take the walls down. Okay. That has been so alive recently. I've heard myself talk to my friends about this multiple times, how love is always just trying to come all over the place. Literally. I love that. And love loves pleasure, and love loves joy and all of the emotions and the feelings. And love loves to just spread itself out completely and touch every single heart and soul as much as it can. So allow that. Allow that. Many blessings to you. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day, night, week. And until next time, thanks for being here. Okay. Oh, I hope that you guys can hear me and understand me. I know I'm a bit sick. I really can't stop thinking about that one part where I brought in time, the successful people, because That really didn't have anything to do with the story that I was telling, but it must have been in there for someone who's looking for human success. Which is, there's no bad or good or right or wrong. And it's so beautiful to have that success and to value your time. That's so beautiful. It is really beautiful to value your time. You also have the power to work with time. When you value your time, you can still allow yourself to slow down. It doesn't mean you're always constantly rushing. You just value it. You know what you want to do with it, which can include, most definitely includes, resting and your peace and your joy and your pleasure, doing things that feel good to you. I love you so much. Thanks for being here. Bye.